Hello everyone. On this video session, we'll proceed to the next topic of business environment, that is economic environment in India. And also, along with this topic, we are going to learn about the LPG, which was introduced under the new industrial policy 1991. The economic environment in India consists of various macro level factors which are related to the business in the means of production and the distributions of wealth which have the impact on the business and the industry. So these are included that stage of economic development of our country. So the stages of the economic development, the rules and regulations made for the development of the economic conditions of the society, that country, will be effect on the business. The economic structure in the form of mixed economy, which recognizes the role of both public and the private sector. Our Indian economy is consist of two sectors, that is public and the private sectors, which are called it as a mixed economy. Here these two sectors will play a very vital role for the development of our India. Economic policies of the government include the industrial, monetary, and the physical policies also impact on the business. So economic plannings that includes the 5-year plans and the annual budgets and so on. The economic indices like a national income, distributions of income, rate and the growth of the GNP, that is gross national product, per capita income, personal income, rate of savings and the investments, value of the exports and imports, balance of the payment, and so on. So these all economic indices also affect on the business and the industries. So infrastructural factors, so such as of financial institutions, banks, modes of transportation, communication facility, and so on. So these infrastructure facility plays a very vital role in the economy of our country, because these all are needed. These infrastructure factors are needed in every kinds of the business, irrespective of the sector wise. So for that reason, it is a place, if any changes in these infrastructural factors, immediately that will affect on the businesses. The main objective of India's development plans were initiate rapid economic growth to raise the standard of living, reduce the unemployment and the poverty. So, what are the major objectives to develop our India? First of all, we have to raise the standard of living of the people, and also we have to reduce the unemployment and the poverty all over the country. Then only we can develop our nation in a better way compared with the others country. So become a self-reliant and set up the strong industrial base with emphasis on heavy and basic industries. So we Indian people or Indian government has to look into, first of all they have to look into the self-reliant, that everybody should have a strong base for their income level. So we have to create that much of awareness and the environment in our country, and we have to set up the strong industrial bases in all over the state and the district wise, so that will immediately impact on the country's wealth. So reduce the inequalities of income and the wealth, and adopt a socialist patterns of the development based on the equality, and prevent a exploitation of men by men. So I can say we have to adopt the strong rules on the policy, that there should not be a discrimination among the irrespective of the caste, gender, nationality, everything. So we have to treat everybody in a equal way, so then only we can move towards the developed country. And also we have to prevent exploitations of men by men. So exploitations that simply creating some nonsense, or simply creating a any kinds of the fightings or something that we have to prevent in our country. So, as a part of the economic reforms, the government of India announced a new industrial policy in July 1991. The broad feature of this policy were as follows. The first one, the government reduced the number of industries under compulsory license to 6. So they had been reduced the license, that sanctioning the license to the only up to 6 industries, that is 6 industries they had been selected, and they declared that industries must comes under the government industry or public sector. So many of the industries revised for the public sector under the earliest policy were de-reserved, and also the role of the public sector was limited only to 4 industries of strategic importance. So here what they did, they had kept some companies under as a license only for 6 industries, and the company who are reserved, that they will make it as a de-reserve. So they had been reduced the public sector, and they had kept only 4 industries as a public sector, for giving more importance to the private sectors rather than the public sectors. So this kind of the policies they had been introduced under the industrial policy in July 1991. So disinvestments was carried out in case of many public sectors industrial enterprises. We have learnt about the disinvestment in the last year, that they have been given a major role to the public sector, sorry, private sectors rather than the public sectors. And also many of the other industries and the other companies from the outside of the country, they can invest on the Indian companies. So policy towards the foreign capital was liberalized. The share of the foreign equity participations was increased, and in many activities 100% FDI, that is foreign direct investment, was permitted. So here what they did, that is the Indian government has been declared that foreign countries can invest on the India, that is 100% investment they can make. So that is known as a foreign direct investment. So this was given a major this was this role, and policies, rules and regulations make a drastic change in the Indian economy. So automatic permissions was now granted for the technology agreement with the foreign companies. So the company, that Indian company wants to import the any kinds of the machineries for their production purpose, they can import from the other country without having a restrictions. So restrictions will be there, but less restrictions are imposed on the importing the machineries from the other country. And also they, India has been gone with the some agreement with the foreign countries and foreign countries company, where for the smooth flow of the transactions. So foreign direct promotion board was set up to promote the and channelize the foreign investment in India. In the essence of this policy has sought out to the liberate the industry from the shackle of the licensing system, that is liberalization, drastically reduce the role of the public sector, that is privatization, and increase the foreign private participation in India's industrial development, that is globalization. Let us understand the LPG meaning. First one, liberalization. The economic reforms that were introduced were aimed to liberalizing the Indian business and the industry from all unnecessary controls and the restrictions. So liberalization, like reducing some rules and regulations related to the business and the industry. So it has been reduced with some unnecessary controls and restrictions over the business. Liberalizations of the Indian industry has taken place with the respect to abolishing licensing requirement in most of the industries except a short list. Freedom in deciding the scale of business activity, that is no restrictions on ex- expansion or contraction of the business activities. So basically there is no restrictions over the scale of business activity, that is anybody can develop and expand their business up to their capacity. Removal of restrictions on the movement of goods and services. So there is a less restriction for movement of goods from one country to the another country, as well as from one state to the another state. The next one, freedom in fixing the price of goods and services. So every businesses will get a chance to fix their prices on the goods, that they have to estimate with the production cost and all labor cost. After that they have to decide the price. And also, even though there is a not too much of freedom of fixing the prices, the government will make a some rules and regulations which will be imposed on fixing the prices of goods and services, because a businessman cannot sell the goods at the high cost. The cost incurred for the producing goods is less, so they have to set the price according to the production cost and the labor cost. So reduction in the tax rates and lifting of the unnecessary controls over the economy. So it has been reduced some tax rates that paying on the goods and services, and also they have been removed some unnecessary controls over the economy, and simplifying the procedures for the imports and exports. This is mainly meant for the encouraging the businessman or the business owners to conduct the import and export business with low cost. So for that reason they had made a simple procedure for the importing and exporting, making it easier to attract the foreign capital and technology to India. The main intention of liberalization is to encouraging and attracting the foreigners to invest on our Indian company as well as the technology. Next one, privatization. Let us understand the meaning. The new set of economic reforms aimed at giving a greater role to the private sectors in the nation building process and reduced the role of the public sector. In simple, privatization is like giving a greater role to the private sectors rather than the public sector. This was a reversal of the development strategy pursued so far by Indian planners. It is like so many years they had supposed to declare this one, but it is like by analyzing everything, the Indian planner has been declared the privatization in the year 1991. To achieve this, the government redefined the role of public sectors in new industrial policy of 1991, and also they had been given a chance to the public sectors, those who are facing a loss and also sick enterprises. They have to undergone with the board of industrial and financial reconstruction. Even though the companies which are not coming up with the loss facing by them since from the 3 years, that companies has supposed to be closed down. So government has been made a rules for that, will undergone with the board of industrial and financial reconstruction. Even though the industries, that public sector industries are not coming up, so those companies are supposed to be winding up. Next one, globalization. Meaning of the globalization, that globalization means the integrations of the various economies of the world leading towards a emergence of a cohesive global economy. Till 1991, the government of India had followed a policy of strictly regulating imports in value and the volume terms. These regulations were with respect to licensing of imports, tariff restrictions, and quantitative restrictions. So, before 1991, there was heavy restrictions over these kinds of the regulations. So, globalization, when the government has declared the globalizations where other countries company can enter into the India and do the business, and also the Indian company can conduct their business worldwide. So definitely it will cohesive of the global economy with our Indian economy. And also they had been concentrated more on the globalizations related to the licensing of the imports and reducing some tariff restrictions and also the quantitative restrictions. Next one, demonetization. Meaning of demonetization is: demonetization is a process by which a demonetized notes ceases to be accepted as legal currency for any kinds of the transactions. The government of India made an announcement on November 6, 2016 with profound implications for the Indian economy. The two largest demonetization notes, that is 500 and 1000, were demonetized with immediate effect, ceases to be the legal tender except for the specialized purposes such as paying utility bills. So those who have kept the money for their savings, they have to exchange their currency immediately, and also they will make some relaxation to the specific purposes. Those who are paying the utility charges or utility bills like current bill, water supply bill, some mobile pay, so some like petrol pay, so there you can exchange your currency with the old currencies. So they're given some chances to the special purposes utility bills, rather than they had been have to exchange their currency with the new currencies. So by demonetizing the 500 and 1000 notes, they had been introduced a new 5000 and 2000 currencies or notes. Some features of demonetization. So demonetization is viewed as a tax administration measure. Cash holdings arises from declared income was readily deposited in banks and exchanged for the new notes. So where the cash holders has to exchange their money by depositing in the bank and can take a money or withdraw the money with the new currency. Demonetization is also interpreted as a shift on the parts of the government, indicating that tax evasion will no longer be tolerated or accepted. The demonetizations also led to tax administration channelizing savings into the formal financial system. Another features of the demonetization is to create a less cash or cashlight economy. So by considering these all the features, saying it as the main intention or the main aim of the demonetization is to bring up the that black money out, and also those who had been not paid a tax over the period of time, so they have to pay the taxes with those who will be having a more amount rather than considering their income. So whatever the black money, they have to pay some taxes to the government. And also one of the biggest aim of the demonetization is to that second biggest demonetization aim, to create the world as a cashless, where you have to go with each and every transactions with the digitalization. So you have to develop your business, and also the people, the individual has to learn about how to pay through the some money transfer apps, and also making the world to be the cashless world. So main intention of the demonetization is these two. So these are the meaning and the features of the demonetization. For your exam point of view, you are going to learn only Means you are going to get in the exam only the meaning of demonetization. So if you have any doubts related to that, you can just contact me. Thank you everyone.